What to wear, what to wear. So many choices and so little time. Hello and welcome back. I want to talk to you today about the clothes that I wore on my Pacific Crest Trail. You know, the funny thing about it is, I don't think I recall seeing one person dressed in the same outfit as another hiker on the trail. I mean, as many miles as I went, as many hikers that I saw, I don't think I ever recall seeing one person with the same outfit as somebody else. You know, that can be kind of embarrassing when you go out and you see somebody wearing the same outfit that you have. That's very, very awkward. I think one important thing that I learned from my through hike of the PCT was that name brand clothing really doesn't matter. I learned that as long as what you have on keeps you from the elements, then that's all that's important. And one important thing that I did is I used the layering method for my clothing setup. That layering method consisted of three components. The first component consists of the base layer, which basically manages perspiration. It wicks the perspiration from off your body so that you're not overheated or that you're not cold because of the moisture that's close to your body. The second component is the mid layer or the insulation layer. Basically what that does is it provides warmth for you either while you're hiking or while you're in camp. Then the third component of this layering system is the shell. Basically what that does is it protects you from the rain or wind. Now the base layer that I wore consisted of a Columbia Silver Ridge light long sleeve shirt. Now I wore different ones throughout my hike, mainly because of the weight that I lost, and I went from a large to a medium shirt. For my pants, I wore the Columbia Silver Ridge conversion pants. Basically what it was is long pants, but the bottom part could be zipped off, and so you'd be left with short pants. For my boxers, I wore ex officio boxers. Next, I wore darn tough socks. In fact, I carried two pairs. I wore one pair, and then I would wash the other pair in a stream and then put it on my backpack and let it dry throughout the day. I alternated between wearing a pair and washing the other pair. For my shoes, I wore the Ultra Lone Peak Trail Runner shoes. In fact, I probably bought between 5 and 6 pairs. I forget how many, but they would only last about 500 miles, and then I would have to get another pair when I got into a trail town that had an outfitter in it. For my cap, I started off wearing the Cool, K-U-H-L, Cool Renegade cap, and when I got to the Mojave Desert, either a squirrel or a rat or something ate a hole in my cap because I'd left it outside, and so I had to switch to a Cool trucker hat. In fact, it was a lot cooler. The Cool hat was a lot cooler on my head because of the mesh top on it as compared to the Renegade. Now, when I got to Independence, I switched out my conversion pants to the Adidas Run It shorts. That basically replaced not only the conversion pants, but also replaced my boxers because it had mesh inner briefs inside. So I didn't have to carry additional underwear with me. Then in Bend, Oregon, I added to my clothing setup the Ultra Gaiters. Those are protection from dirt getting into your shoes. And I don't know why in the world I didn't think of this earlier or why I didn't add it earlier, but these things were a game changer to me. Now for my mid-layer component, I started off with the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer down hooded jacket. I've had that jacket for a long time and it has served me well, and I love the jacket. I wouldn't give anything for it. Then I also carried with me the Patagonia Capilene Midweight Thermal Top. I would use that if it ever got cold and while I was hiking, and mainly when I got into camp and went to sleep, I would put that thermal top on to give me a little bit more warmth. Then also on my mid-layer component, I had the Patagonia Capilene Midweight Thermal Bottoms. And again, that was basically for sleeping at night, but also if it was cold while I was hiking during the day, I would put those on underneath my Adidas shorts to give a little warmth and protection to my legs. And then at night and in the morning when it got cold, I would put a beanie on my head, and I used the Wigwam beanie to again keep the warmth from exiting my head. But they say if you can keep your head warm, you can keep your whole body warm, and that is the truth. Then for my shell component of this three layering system that I used, I had the Marmot. I started off with the Marmot rain jacket, and then in South Lake Tahoe, I switched to the Z-Pax Virtus rain jacket. I love both jackets, but the Virtus, the Z-Pax Virtus jacket was a little bit lighter, and to me it seemed like that it kept the rain out a little bit more and a little bit longer. Then I started with and I ended with the Z-Pax Virtus rain pants. And again, I didn't wear those all the time in the rain, but when it would rain for a long period of time, or if it was cold in the morning, I would put on those rain pants, and it protected my legs and protected my the bottom part of my body from the rain and also from the colds. I also carried with me some prescription glasses that I only used for reading. I didn't have to wear them while I was hiking. But also I carried prescription sunglasses with me. Now I did send those home when I got to Bend, Oregon, because a lot of the terrain that I was in the forest, and so I didn't need sunglasses in the forest, and so I sent those back home. Now, I also use this layering system for my sleep system as well. If it was hot, I would just sleep in the clothes that I hiked with, but if it got a little bit colder, I would put my Mountain Hardwear jacket on, and then if it got real cold, I would put my Patagonia pants on, the thermal pants, as well as a beanie. And then if it got real cold, I would put the hood on my Mountain Hardwear jacket on top of my head as well for some extra warmth. And then one time in the towards the end of the journey, in the mountains there in Washington, it got very cold, below freezing, and I wore everything that I had. My shell, my mid-layer, my base layer, everything I had inside of my 30-degree sleeping bag, and I kept very warm. Now, one great thing about having a rain jacket and rain pants is that whenever I went into a trail town, I would always wash my clothes, and I would wear my rain pants and my rain jacket while my clothes were being washed. And so again, the things that I carried was not anything extra. I didn't bring any extra clothes with me. But what I did is I multi-purpose used everything that I brought with me. And so therefore, my clothing system was very efficient, and it was very lightweight, and it was nothing extra, nothing fancy that I brought with me. So that is my clothing system that I used on the Pacific Crest Trail. Tell me what you use on your through hike, or just your section hike, or your overnight hike. Tell me what you use in the comments section below. If you have any questions, leave those questions in the comments section below. And again, if you would like to download the gear, a list of the gear that I used on each one of the sections on my Pacific Crest Trail hike, then go to the description section and download those gear lists and print them out. You can use them to purchase the gear that you're going to be using on your next hike. So as always, until the next time, I'll see you down the trail.